everyone.
Good morning.
Councilor Donna, it is now 10 o'clock. You can call your meeting to order.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. How are you this morning, Ms. Taylor?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Good. Good morning. This is the best, and welcome to the Bessemer City Council meeting, the city of Bessemer, 1700 3rd Avenue North, here in the great city of Bessemer, Alabama. Today is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021. This meeting is now called to order. We will have a silent word of prayer. And counselors, as we go to God in prayer, please let us pray for this nation, the city, this county, and the state of Alabama. Silent word of prayer. It is in the name of the one who does all things well. Item number 2, Ms. Taylor.
Council roll call. Councilor Alexander,
Present.
Councilor Collier,
Present.
Councilor Crusoe,
Present.
Councilor Marshall,
Present.
Councilor Thickpen,
Present.
Councilor Matthews,
Present.
Councilor Donald.
Present.
7 present, no absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 3, please.
Approval of minutes from September 21st, 2021, special call meeting on September the 29th, 2021.
Counselor, you've had your minutes. Are there any questions and or concerns? Not, I need a motion, please.
I move the motion to adopt the minutes of the meeting.
Second.
Wait a second. Been properly moved and second that we'll approve the minutes from September the 21st and special call meeting September the 29th, 2021. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander,
Aye.
Councilor Collier,
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe,
Aye.
Councilor Marshall,
Aye.
Councilor Thickpen,
Aye.
Councilor Matthews,
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Item number 4, please.
Committee reports.
Counselors, are there any committee reports?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
this is not a committee report, but it may need some attention of a committee in the very near future. And it's concerning wildlife and other inhabitants that people may like or enjoy in the city. It's not necessarily conducive for the neighborhood and for its residents. So I think from an environmental standpoint, we have some laws on the books that describe, that goes back to 1995 and probably further back than that. But from a in city limits, there's some things that's going on that that is escalating tremendously when you come down to wildlife, whether it be pigeons or horses or it's just a nuisance. So, but anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up since we were talking about committee reports, but it may take a committee to look into this in the future. I'll be more specific at at a later time, okay?
Thank you, Counselor. If not, item number 5.
Presentations, awards, announcements, and recognitions.
Counselors, do you have any presentations, award, and or recognitions?
Madam Chair.
Ma'am.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Councilor Crusoe.
Yes, ma'am, Counselor Crusoe.
I would like to commend the Chamber of Commerce, Bessemer Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Latasha Williams and staff, and everyone who played a role in the Fall Family Festival that they hosted on yesterday and we sponsored on yesterday. It was well
On
organized.
Sunday?
Can you hear me?
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Yes, on Sunday. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It was well organized. The ambiance of families being out and just, coming together. It was well organized. And I would like to commend everyone who had hands in pulling it together. And I know with my real estate company, Matthews and Associates as well. Job well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other
Ditto.
counselor?
Ditto, Madam Chair.
Mayor Gully, are you on the line?
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning to the entire council, all who are listening. Just a couple of items as well. I want to ask everyone to pray for the city of Sheffield and Muscle Shoals, Alabama. They both this past week had officers to die in the line of duty, and we know. And so when it comes to our first responders, our police officers, they have an awesome task and so out there. And when we've seen this all over America, but when it hits close to home here in the state of Alabama, I just want to let them know that we stand with them and we're praying for those cities at this time. Also, I want to commend as well Miss Latasha Williams and the Chamber Board. Obviously, we looked at how bad it rained on Saturday evening and Sunday morning, and I know that there was some concerns about postponing it to another day, but I think everything went tremendously well when it comes to that Marble City Fun Festival, and it definitely demands a second annual. So I want to commend them for a job well done and stuff as well. I also want to make everyone aware and invite everyone out to our Bessemer Police Department will be having their annual fall festival and stuff as well on October the 28th at the Bart Laban Park from 5 to 8 p.m. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, Mayor Gully. Counselors, I want to take a PPP for just one moment. Miss personal point of privilege. Miss Coleman, is Miss Grant in the chambers? Miss Coleman? Miss Coleman, is Miss Grant in the chambers?
No, ma'am, she's not Miss Grant. It's a Miss Gates in there, but not a Miss Grant.
It's a Miss Gates in the council chambers.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we get her to the mic right there, please?
Of course. Yes, hold on.
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. I call you Miss Grant. I am so sorry. You can go
Okay.
ahead and state your name,
Okay. My, na- okay.
state your address.
My name is Sylvia
and you have
Gates.
to-
Okay.
Okay,
First of all,
go
I want
ahead.
to, first of all, to our esteemed Mayor Gully, President Council Donna, to the district leader, Jarvis Collier, and to all elected council in your respective places. I want to thank you for allowing me to come before you today. My name is Sylvia Gates. I own the property of 1047 Gloria Drive in Bessemer. Due to unforeseen circumstances, my house was burned. And my husband and I was determined. I'm trying not to be emotional. My husband and I were determined to build this house back. It's in the community of Smith Highland in Old Jonesboro. We were determined to build the house back, but in January this year, I lost my husband of 47 years to COVID complications. To complications of COVID. He was, and at this point, I found out that my house was on the demolition list to be knocked down. My family, when we were in school, we were the first ones at Route J box 55, Route J. We were in Route 55 box J. We were there when it was just in the county. And we really kind of was there all of my life. I lived there. While I'm trying to recover from this loss of my husband, I found out that I had complications, like I may have to have a mastectomy because of complications of some type of cancer that I have or something that they found. So now I have two sons who's living their lives and trying to survive as well. I have two grandchildren, a 9 and an 8-year-old, that I am solely responsible for now because my husband is no longer with me. And my request to you all today, please forgive me for being emotional, but my request for you all today is to give me time to get past my surgery. Give me time to try and get past this, whatever it is that I'm going through, so that I can concentrate on getting the house back up and restoring it.
Your 3 minutes, Ms. Gant, your 3 minutes are up. Let me see what you're saying. You're asking this body, along with the mayor, to allow you the time to repair your property. Is that what you're asking us?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. How long do you think it's going to take for you to repair this property?
Ma'am,
First,
I have my own personal sickness that I'm dealing with right now. And as God strengthens me to get past this, I don't even know whether I'm gonna make it through this surgery. I just want let me explain. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and for his children's children. I just want to have the opportunity to do something right for my grandchildren. I don't want them to have to walk around and beg and act like the other people or others, because I want to leave something for them. And if it's okay with you.
I totally understand what you're saying. Hold on just one moment. Mr. Harmon, are you on the line? Mayor Gully, is Mr. Tom Harmon on the line?
Madam President, I don't think Mr. Harmon and stuff is here and stuff today. But
Okay.
Ms. Gates, first of all, my condolences to you and the loss of your husband and the illness that you're going through. I would like and stuff to know if Councilman Collier and stuff is aware and stuff of it, Madam President, and possibly hear stuff from him as to what his position is and stuff. Since I think this area is in his district, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It is in his district. And I was going to call.
I got kicked off. I'm sorry. I got kicked off. I'm in Ms. Coleman's office. Mr. Singleton trying to help me out on my phone.
Okay.
I can
Hold
hear
on. Hold on. Councilor Collier, hold on just one moment. I was going to ask Mr. Harmon, was the property, can she even repair the property that she's speaking on? And then I was going to let Councilor Collier speak on that. But since Mr. Harmon is not here, Councilor Collier.
Madam President, Madam President,
yes, sir.
You know, I'll I mean, obviously, I want to hear from Councilman Collier, but you know, I can get with Mr. Harmon, look at the condition and stuff of it, see it and stuff of it, if it's repairable, but at best, the home and so would need to be secured. I'm thinking and stuff as far as being boarded up, so forth and stuff and so on.
Yes,
so I can definitely get with Mr. Harmon and stuff at my earliest convenience and see and so what we and stuff can do. Yeah.
Please, Mayor Gurley, get with Mr. Harmon. Let us see what we can do to assist her. Councilor Collier, are you back on the line now?
I'm not, but I'm in Ms. Coleman's office. I could speak. Mr. Singleton is working on my device.
Yes.
I didn't hear much of the conversation, but I heard a little bit of it. That property right there has been sitting in the district for a long time, looking like it looks. My only problem is I've been getting complaints since day one, since I took office, about the property. So I know 2 years before I took office, it looked like that, and now we about to almost come into my fourth term. So that was the only problem I had with it, from the residents just complaining about eyesore and the rodents coming in, from neighbors complaining, and we have to get the city to go out there and tend to those issues.
No, you didn't. I had a yard man who was doing the yard every day. You all charged me $450 last year on my taxes. I paid the tax out of the money that I had gotten back from the insurance of my husband dying, that I really couldn't afford to do. I didn't say that I was a millionaire, Mr. Collier. I don't have any money to get it done.
I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that. Maybe you misunderstood me. I'm just telling you about the complaints that I hear each and every day about
sure
that property.
Do.
I tell you what, man, I could sit down and talk to her while Mr. Singleton is working on my device, trying to get me back in. And I can get with you and Mr. Harmon and tell you what we came up with to see what we can do about this situation. If that's not a problem with the
Councilor Collier, you are in your office, Councilor Collier.
I am in my office. Well, I'm in Ms. Coleman's office now because my device is
okay. There. Well, you and Ms. Gant can go into the council conference room, and you all can sit and speak on this address and get with Mayor Gully and Mr. Harmon and see what we can do as a city to help her.
Okay. As soon as Mr. Singleton comes back on my device, I'm gonna step back in.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Collier. Any other counselor? Thank you so much, Ms. Gant.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Collier. Yes, ma'am.
It's someone else in the council chamber as well.
It is someone else in the council's chambers.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Parker and Miss Wesley. I think she said Wesley.
Mr. Parker and Miss Wesley. Okay, that was just a personal point of privilege. If you would allow ask Mr. Parker and Mr. Wesley if they can possibly wait until we get to the citizens' concerns. We shouldn't be very long. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
I'll do it.
Okay, Ms. Taylor, thank you so much. Thank you all. Any other counselor? Thank you, and thank you, Mayor Gurley. Thank you, Councilor Collier. Item number 6, please.
Status of Facebook Live.
Mayor Gurley, I placed this on to see what the status of our Facebook Live and the RFP.
Madam President, I have to get with Mr. Singleton. I have no new information from the last meeting we had, and so on Facebook Live. I think we left that with Mr. Singleton getting ready and stuff to do RFP, and so on that, and I've not spoken with him as to what time frame he intends to have that done to present it. So I have to get with him, and I'll have to let you know back.
Yes, sir. Any other counselor?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to
Yes, ma'am.
speak to that effect. I just wanted to speak to that effect for a second. I know Mr. Singleton said we didn't need an app for the city of Bessemer, but I don't know if everyone was aware what happened yesterday with Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It was down for a number of hours. And if we had our own city app, we wouldn't have to worry about Facebook or none of that as far as getting interrupted, our services being interrupted to our citizens. So if we could take, if Mr. Singleton can take that into consideration of what happened yesterday and look into us getting our own app. That's all I have to say.
Thank you,
Madam
Counselor.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
my only issue with even the app, at no point during planning session did we as a body, and this is a body, no, we did not ever discuss an app. And I just think it's ingenuous for council people to go out and come up with their own ideas without this body discussing the ideas. So
Madam Chair.
One moment, Counselor Alexander, because the app was just an added addition. I brought that up after Mr. Singleton and I had sat and talked about, and we were on the same page as to get someone locally to do the Facebook Live. The app was just an extra amenity, Counselor Marshall. It was just an extra amenity that would have been added if we so choose to get this person or whomever. It was just an extra added amenity. No, we did not sit down and discuss it. We did not. But
that go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just brought that up because it was an added amenity. That's all that was, Counselor.
Well,
Madam Chair.
my point is, we as a body did not discuss that. And for you to have a private conversation with Mr. Singleton as though this is something that the council is in agreement on, and to have Mr. Singleton trying to put together a proposal, even integrating an app, is something that this body did not discuss. Now, nobody can dispute that. We never sat in a planning session and talked about having a city app. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Wait, just one moment, Counselor Marshall, you did not understand what I said. I never discussed anything with Mr. Singleton about an app. That was just discussed with me, and I brought it to the body as an extra amenity. You're absolutely right. We did not discuss an app, but what Counselor Alexander is saying is absolutely the truth. Counselor Alexander.
Okay, so I remember when we were talking about it, Mr. Singleton, we had the email and I looked at it and he said, well, on here it says something about building the app. He said, I don't think we need the app. He said, I don't think we need that part as far as an app. Now that's where I get it from. No one has had no side conversations, but if you go back and read the minutes or listen to the council meeting where Mr. Singleton was talking about that proposal, that certain proposal where it did have our own app, that's where I'm getting that from.
Madam Chair.
Madam President.
I'm
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mayor Gully.
I'll yield to the mayor.
Mayor Gully.
Madam President, a RFP is going to be an impossibility if the request keeps changing. Now, I've not spoken to Mr. Singleton, or Mr. Singleton have not spoken to me concerning this of an app. So now, I don't know. I've heard in some, discussion pop up a couple of times, but with no full discussion. But this goes back to what I said in a previous meeting. A RFP is going to be an impossibility if this total body don't know what it wants either. And so, once again, if an app is in, we can look at that. If an app is out, we can discuss that. But Mr. Singleton has never come to me concerning of the adding an app into his RFP. Thank you.
I thank you, Mayor Gully. I did not say, apparently, I did not say that Mr. Singleton came to you, went to Ron Marshall, went to Kimberly Alexander, or whomever. What I said was the app was an extra amenity. Now, the app does not have to be in the RFP because we didn't discuss the app in the RFP. And it's not an impossibility. He can go ahead and do the RFP. We're waiting on the RFP. We've been waiting on it for some time. Yes, we know what we want. And yes, Mr. Singleton knows exactly what we want because he stated it last meeting. But no, that was just, let's just take the app off the table. Let's take it off the table. Let us go
Madam
ahead.
Chair, Madam Chair.
Let's go ahead
Chair.
with the RFP. You've already spoken twice, Mr. Marshall, on this specific topic. Let us move on. Thank you, Mayor Gully. We'll wait on your the status of Facebook Live when you speak with Mr.
I'll let you slide.
Item number 7,
I'll let you slide because you don't know what you're talking about.
Item number 7, please.
Item 7, Attorney General's opinion, dated September 23rd, 2021, from the state of Alabama, Office of the Attorney General, addressed to the Honorable Gregory L. Harris, Attorney, Bessemer City Council, Jackson and Harris, 912 Dolphin Street, Mobile, Alabama, 36604. Municipality, request for proposals, mayors, city councils, Jefferson County. The Bessemer City Council may issue a request for proposal seeking qualified insurance agent to serve as an agent of record between the city of Bessemer and the Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation, which is AMIC. In addition, the city council may appoint a qualifying entity from the respondents to serve as the agent of record. Dear Mr. Harris, this opinion of the Attorney General is issued in response to your request on behalf of the Bessemer City Council. Questions. Whether the City Council may issue a request for proposals seeking qualified insurance agent to serve as an agent of record between the city and AMIC. Second question, whether the City Council may appoint a qualifying entity from the respondents to serve as an agent of record for the city. Facts and analysis. Your request states that the city is a Class 5 municipality with a mayor-council form of government that operates pursuant to Section 11-43D-1 of the Code of Alabama. Alabama Code 11-43D-1 through 11-43D-22. The city maintains general liability insurance coverage through AMIC. AMIC has advised you that it requires an agent of record to operate between it and the municipalities participating in this insurance program. An agent of record is synonymous with an insurance agent who is a person authorized by an insurance company to sell its insurance policies. Insurance agent come from the Black's Law Dictionary. The City Council wants to issue a request for proposals from interested qualified insurance agents and appoint one to serve as the agent of record between the city and AMIC. A request for proposal is an invitation to prospective suppliers or contractors to submit proposals or bids to provide goods or services. Indeed, a request for proposal may be understood to be an invitation to bid. More often, however, a request for proposal is used in the context of contracting services exempt from the competitive bidding requirements. The competitive bid law does not apply to the purchase of insurance. This is from the Alabama Code 41-16-51. This office has previously stated that this exemption to the competitive bid law extends to a self-insured municipality contracting with an intermediary administrator to provide the services intended to normal claims administration. Opinion to Honorable Doug Cook, State Senator, 17th District, dated November 2nd, 1979, AG number 80-00059. Similarly, the exemption to the competitive bid law for purchasing insurance would extend to a contract with an agent of record to procure the insurance. Thus, a request for proposal is appropriate in this context, and it must now be determined whether the request should issue from the City Council or the mayor. Title 11, Chapter 43D of the Code does not address whether the mayor or City Council has the authority to enter into and execute contracts on behalf of a municipality. A mayor-council municipality organized under Chapter 43D retains the power of a mayor-council form of government formed under Title 11, so long as it is not inconsistent with Chapter 43D. We must therefore look to Title 11 to resolve whether the mayor or city council may request proposals from agents of record and enter into a contract with one of the agents. Generally, as applied to contracts, the role of the city council and the mayor are symbiotic. The city council has the authority to enter into a contract on behalf of the municipality, and the mayor is responsible for executing unless otherwise directed by state law or ordinance and enforcing the contract. Section 11-43-43 of the code states that all legislative powers and other powers granted to cities and towns shall be exercised by the council, except those powers conferred on some officers of law or ordinance. In addition, the city council has management and control of the finances and all of the property, real and personal, belonging to the city or town. With both legislative and financial control of the city's affairs, it is the city council that has the authority to decide whether contracts to enter on behalf of the municipality, whereas the mayor shall see that all contracts with the town or city are faithfully kept or performed. Although a mayor does not have the authority to enter into and execute a contract on behalf of a municipality, this authority cannot be exercised without the authorization of the city council. Town of Bolaji versus Greene County Water and Sewer Authority. Thus, it is the city council that is responsible for issuing the request for proposals and deciding whether to contract with an agent of record. The mayor then executes and enforces the contract on behalf of the city. It should be noted that there are limited instances where, through express statutory authority, a mayor may enter into a contract without the consent of the city council. See Alabama Code 11-43-85, authorizing the mayor to appoint and pay an independent public accountant to conduct an examination of a municipality's books and accounts. These narrow exceptions do not apply to the analysis above. Conclusion. The city council may issue a request for proposals seeking qualified insurance agents to serve as an agent of record between the city of Bessemer and the Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation. In addition, the city council may appoint a qualified entity from the correspondence to serve as an agent of record. I hope this opinion answers your questions. If this office can be of further assistance, please contact Wes Shaw of my staff. Sincerely, Steve Marshall, Attorney General.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Counselors, I will place item number 7 on the planning session for next week to be discussed. Item number 8, please.
Granted extensions.
Mayor, is Ms. Hall on the line? Ms. Hall.
Good morning, yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Ms. Hall?
I'm well, yourself, thank you.
Good, good, good. Do I need to do this, or will you do this?
I can, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't mind. Go ahead.
On this particular item, items number 1 and number 3, I would like to request that those items be abated. And on item number 2, I would like to request that item be voted on to be cut.
That's item number 1 and number 3 abated.
Yes, ma'am.
1 and 2 to be cut. 704 Avenue H. That's District 7, is that correct?
I believe so, yes, ma'am. It's in the
Okay.
Muskota area.
That's District 7. 2513 9th Avenue, that's District 2, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, 2529 7th Avenue. Councilor Alexander.
It's what now? What address?
2529 7th Avenue. Have you received anything on that property or heard from the property owner?
No, I haven't. I was looking at my paperwork then again. No, ma'am.
Okay, counselors, I need a motion and a second.
Madam Chair. Go ahead, Council Cruiser.
No, I was just making a correction as far as with that Avenue H. That's Muskota. That's I think that's Big Pen's district.
That's up on top of that hill right there.
Yes, ma'am. I don't have a copy of that in my file. I guess it came by email, but I'm okay with it.
Okay, all right. Now, I need a motion and a second, please.
Madam Chair, I move that
Yes, sir.
item 1 and 3 be abated and item 2 be cut.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that we will abate item number 1, 704 Avenue H, item number 3, 2513 9th Avenue North, and cut 2529 7th Avenue. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier, Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 9, please.
Request abatement of properties.
Ms. Hall?
Yes, ma'am. On this particular item, the properties that are listed, I would like to request that those items be abated.
$27.35. Councilors, are there any questions and or concerns? Not, need a motion in a second, please.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move that we abate items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Need a second, please.
Second.
Been properly moved in second that the above said items are abated. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier, Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Item number 10, Ms. Hall.
On item number 10, the properties that are listed, I would like to request that the dollar amounts be approved to be added to the ad valorem tax as a weed lien.
Yes, ma'am. May I ask a question, Ms. Hall? Now, the prices that I see, how do we get to these prices?
Okay.
That's a question that was asked to me.
Yes, ma'am. So the prices are what the actual private contractor is bidded on, and also it includes there's a $150 administrative fee. That's a part of the weed ordinance. It's also included.
Okay. All right.
And
Counselors,
that's in the total of each one of them, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
The
it
one
is.
administrative fee. Okay,
Right, it is.
thank you.
our lawnmower.
Get your tractor.
Oh,
It's
my
your-
God.
The tractor making some money.
Counselors, are there any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move the item.
Second.
Has been properly moved and second that we will accept the report of cost of the above named items. Roll call, please.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier,
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thigpen,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews,
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you so much. Item number 11, please.
A resolution authorizing payment to EEFS Company PC for July 2021 invoices.
Counselors, you have your copy of your invoice. Are there any questions and or concerns? Mr. Gilbert, are you on the line?
Good morning, everyone. This is Daniel Mayfield. I'm on the line today. Mr. Gilbert's out of town.
Okay, hey Daniel, how are you?
Doing fine, Mr.
Mr. Lim,
Arnold.
let me ask one question. When will we start seeing that that bridge across 150?
I'll give you an update. I think it was last council meeting, the council passed the utility agreement. So the electrical engineer is drawing up the final plans to reroute that overhead electrical line around that bridge. And for the Bessemer Electric will perform that work in-house. And once that's done, shortly thereafter, probably get that, AlDOT will let that project, and we'll bring that back to you guys for about the lowest, when the project is let, and the 20% match and all that after all those, after the line gets relocated. That's the next step.
Thank you so much. I was just curious.
Yes, ma'am. I would anticipate probably a letting spring, summer for it to let next year, 22.
Hey, Council, thank you so much, Daniel. Councilors, you have your paperwork. Are there any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair. Oh,
Okay,
go
Councilor.
Go ahead, Councilor Matthews. I'll talk after you.
Councilor Matthews.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Alexander. Consolidated pipe. We've had some issues in that area before, and I was looking here where it said the elevation and concerning FEMA elevation certificate. That does this have anything to do with the previous complaints we had coming from McCullough Road?
No, sir, Councilor Matthews. That had to do with a building addition.
Okay.
At Consolidated Pipe. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. I know when I saw FEMA, that raised my tentacles. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Councilors, I need a motion and Councilor Alexander.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, again, I was looking at the invoice for $31,000 for the month of July. And I was looking at the line item in the budget, and also the contract that the city was supposed to be entered into with EFS, but it wasn't entered into. Now that contract states $120,000 a year, but the line item is $570,000 for the year. That's just my concern. Can we put EFS and the engineering services on planning session so we can get a good understanding?
A good understanding of
if they are the city engineers, without the council and the mayor going and execute this contract. The contract was never executed. So do we need to discuss this in planning session about executing a contract with EFS? Because as the federal government stated, they were not procured.
Councilor Alexander, if that is what you like to have on planning session, sure.
Yes, ma'am, I would.
Thank you, ma'am. If there are any other counselors, if not, I need a motion and or
Madam Chair,
yes, sir.
I move the item.
Need a second, please. Has been properly moved and second that we will accept the items for payment from EEFS for the month of July 2021, totaling $31,775.64. I need roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
No.
Counselor Collier, Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thickpan,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 nay. The motion carries.
Thank you so much. Item number 12, please.
An ordinance extending the requirement of face coverings in municipal buildings.
Thank you, counselors. Mayor Gully, would you like to, I had this placed back on because I think today is the ending date for the mask covering in the municipal buildings. Would you like to speak on that?
Good morning, Madam Chair. This is Terang, Mayor Gully's assistant. Mayor Gully has stepped away, and he has not. I have not talked to him about that, and he has not communicated any particular desire regarding the mask ordinance.
Counselors, are there any concerns and or questions? We'd like to keep this.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm in favor of it. Yes, but we just can get a date. I mean,
Well, with the COVID numbers are not very good here in Jefferson County. I can tell you that. I looked at them this morning, and they're not good here at all. And with the flu season coming, I would think that we would keep the mask ordinance in place at least until the end of the year. If indeed the COVID numbers starts to get better throughout the season, we can always come back and change the date or dismiss the date that's on there. But with the coughing and the flu season, I would think we would keep this ordinance in order at least until the end of the year. I would love to hear from other counselors.
Madam President, I agree. I think the first of the year would be, or the end of the year would be a good time limit. So far, I still wear my mask when I go out. And I think we all should, just to protect each other.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you and Councilor Thickpan.
Thank you,
Madam
sir.
Chair.
Yes, sir.
If no one else, and this one was till what? Until the 4th?
It was the 5th.
Well, can we go to the 5th? Can we go on to the 5th of January then? I mean, we have a meeting on the 4th. So.
Okay, we can go to we got a meeting on the 4th. Well, let's do January the 5th, 2022.
That I motion that we extend the mask ordinance in the city of Bessemer to January the 5th, 2022.
Need a second?
Second.
Has been properly moved that an ordinance extending the requirements for wearing a face mask covering in all municipal buildings located in the city of Bessemer to January 5th, 2022. Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Counselor Alexander,
Aye.
Counselor Collier,
Aye.
Counselor Crusoe,
Aye.
Counselor Marshall,
Aye.
Counselor Thickpan,
Aye.
Counselor Matthews.
Aye.
Counselor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 13, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city to accept grants from Alabama 911 Board for 911 phone equipment upgrade and authorizing him to execute purchase and sale agreement with Ryan Public Safety Solutions.
With counselors, you have your E911. I call Chief Roper to get some understanding as to what this grant was. Mayor Gully and or Terrain, is the chief on the line?
Yes, ma'am. I have Chief Roper here, and he can answer any questions from the council.
Thank you. Chief Roper, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Madam President, entire council.
Thank you, sir, and welcome back. Can you explain this grant to the city and how the city will benefit from this grant?
Yes, Madam President. This grant is for an upgrade to our telephone system that's used in communications. Our current system is minimum of 20 years old. We've been in the current building since 2009, and we carry over this phone system from our old building. This will upgrade our phone system and have us in line with the state of Alabama. I don't know if you have the sheet in your package. It shows all the municipalities and the different counties that were awarded this amount to upgrade these systems. And Bessemer received the second highest amount behind Pickens County. This money is a 90-10 split in which the state 911 board will pay out approximately $109,000, and we will pay approximately $12,000 to have a system upgrade. And this $12,000 will not come from the general fund. None of this money comes from the general fund. That $12,000 will come from our E911 account.
Councilors, now you have your paperwork and you've heard Chief Roper. Are there any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am, Councilor Alexander.
I just want to say thank you, Chief, for getting the grant, because I know that our system has been hacked a number amount of times. But a couple of weeks ago, I was at the City Hall, and I walked into the multi-purpose room, and there was a gentleman sitting there, and I thought, well, we must be having a meeting today. Well, I asked him who he was, and he told me he was from the state, and he was auditing. And he told me he was auditing the E911 funds. And I made him aware of who I was. And I asked him, why would he be auditing the E911 funds? He told me, he explained to me, he said, you didn't know? I said, I didn't know what? He said, it had been a theft to the E911 fund. Now, I was not aware of a theft to the E911 funds. I know we've had audits done within the last 2 years. I know we have a finance director. No one has caught this. Not the auditor, not the finance director. It took for the state to come in and catch that we had a theft to the E911 fund. Now, by the council being over finance, I just want to know why we wasn't aware of this theft.
Madam
And when
President,
did it take place?
Madam President,
Okay, I had muted myself. I do apologize, you all. Wait. Counselor, that wasn't Counselor Evans. Chief Roper, was that you calling me and I couldn't hear you?
yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Chief Roper.
I just want to, concerning the theft from the E911 account, this was reported to me several months ago, when we found out someone had fraudulently wrote checks on this account. There is an active investigation going on, and this was found before the auditor came in. The auditor, E911 auditor, they come in certain intervals. This is not their first time coming. But this was found prior to the auditor coming in. And there is an active investigation concerning that theft from the bank account of the E911.
I guess my question would be, Chief, if there was a theft, why wasn't the council made knowledgeable of that with an ongoing investigation? Because to be honest with you, this is my first time hearing of it.
Madam Chair, I guess that would be a question for the mayor to answer, and he's not present at this time.
Okay, he's not present. I'll just give it to him and to ask him that question. But let us go on. Councilors, are there any questions and or concerns?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I move this item.
Second. Alabama 911.
Discussion, Madam Chair, please.
Wait just a moment. We'll get a discussion after the second. It has been properly moved in second that the resolution authorizing the acceptance of a grant awarded by the Alabama 911 Board to the city of Bessemer, Alabama. Discussion. Councilor Crusoe.
My question and concern is, we're motioning and seconding to receive more money. We have an active investigation going on concerning fraud that we're finding out right here while we're making motion to receive more money.
Well, I don't, Madam Chair.
Yes, Chair. Sir. Chief Roper. Yes, sir.
No, this is not Chief. No, I'm not Chief.
Oh, who am I speaking?
Councilor Matthews.
I can't see you. I'm sorry. I can't see you, Councilor Matthews.
Okay.
I do apologize, but Councilor Matthews.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think we're doing our due diligence by accepting the money. I think that and Chief can correct me if I'm in error, but this would be by being investigated, that wouldn't prohibit us from accepting this grant, because that'll be a separate. I think they're separate. At least I know they're separate, but I don't think that prohibit us from accepting it, with the understanding that we get after the results of the investigation, this council is notified about those finances that has been fraudulently stolen, or however they was done. Well, I guess that's it. No other word.
Well, and I'm following you, Councilor Matthews, as far as in everything that you just said. It's just not this is the second time within months that we are continuing to accept federal dollars and find out at the same time, well, for the last time we were having to pay back money to the federal government that was, used in ways that we still don't know to this very day that it was used for, just acts to repay to the federal government. Now, I'm just kind of baffled. Had I known before coming into this meeting that we were in the middle of an active investigation because of fraudulent checks being written, then we could have discussed this before here, before announced. I mean, I'm just kind of at a loss right here. As soon as we find out concerning this investigation, we're still, and I'm not trying to offset or not receive any type of assistance that we can receive here in the city of Bessemer. It's just for the checks and balances and a level of accountability that I feel like we need to make sure that's in place to ensure that this money is being utilized and secured in the way that it should be, rather than just you continuing to accept and then go and look for the loopholes in the bucket that doesn't make any sense.
Madam President. Madam President.
Yes, sir, Councilor Marshall.
I don't think the E911 board would have even authorized this grant, regardless. I call for the question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm asking for the vote.
Yes, sir, you can. I have a question, and then we'll vote after I have a question. Chief, was the money found? Did we find out about the check, or that is in?
Madam President.
We may have to do an executive session, I think, if we're gonna.
Madam President.
I tell you what. Yes. Who is that?
Chief. It's Chief.
Okay, Chief.
I don't think this is the time to discuss any findings, and this is a current investigation. It has not been completed,
yes,
so I don't have all the results for you.
I understand, councilors. I'll place this E911. Chief did say that it was an active investigation going on. I will place it back on an agenda to be discussed after the findings of the E911 theft. Let us go ahead and vote on the E911 grant 91, the 10% grant that the city will have to pay 10%, which is at $12,000, Chief, and the E911 will give us 109, but all funds will come from E911.
That is correct, Madam President.
Roll call, Ms. Taylor.
Councilor Alexander.
Aye.
Councilor Collier.
Aye.
Councilor Crusoe.
Aye.
Councilor Marshall.
Aye.
Councilor Thickpen.
Aye.
Councilor Matthews.
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. The motion carries.
Thank you. I would ask the chief to please keep us updated as to the investigation as to what is going on, so that we will know and we won't be caught, as the old folks say, with our pants down. If you after you all know something from the state concerning the E911 theft, please keep the council in the loop. Since we don't have citizens' comments, do we still have
Madam President.
We still have citizens? Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We have 2 citizens in the chamber.
Okay. Whichever one was first, we can add that you all as 13A, citizens' comments, please. Can they please mute your devices? Please mute your devices. Citizens' comments. Whomever the first citizen was, please step to the mic. Give me your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name's Angelo Parker. I'm down. I got a business at 1004 4th Avenue North. a barber shop, car wash detail shop. When the COVID hit, I went from 5 days. Ma'am?
Mute your device. One moment, Mr. Parker. Please mute your devices. Whomever is speaking, we can hear you. Please mute your devices. I'm sorry, Mr. Parker.
Madam Chair. Hey, Madam Chair, that's
Yes,
that
sir.
number's 424-7469. Whoever number that is, that need to mute it, because every time they speak to whoever they're greeting, they interfere with this meeting. Okay, they're muted now. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Go ahead, Mr. Parker.
Okay, I went from 5 days to 2 days. And majority of my customers are my family members. Okay, so in June of 2020, I decided to get my dealer license to start buying cars and selling them wholesale on 4th Avenue. So I'm a young Black entrepreneur. I'm just trying to bring business to Bessemer. And okay, I came down here I got all my license from the state of Alabama, Jefferson County. I got my insurance on all my cars that I buy under my business license that are damaged and up to they fix. I put bumpers on them, fenders on them. I came down here to the city hall multiple times. I know probably 10, 15 times, signing in, trying to get my city license, and I've been denied. I have another business I'm trying to start, and I was told that I have to speak to someone and get it cleared through you guys that I can open these businesses up and get my city license. I don't know why I'm getting denied. I don't know why people calling in on me, saying stuff that I'm doing this and doing that. I don't know why. I really don't care, because I don't bother people. Nobody in Bessemer. I don't deal with nobody in Bessemer. I just come down here and try to make a living. That's it. That's all. I try to do everything the right way. The building inspector keep kicking me out, saying that I'm denied of my city license. I just want to know why, because I had this barbershop open 8 years. I've been in Bessemer doing business with you guys, paying taxes for ever since 2009. And like I said, I'm just trying to bring business to Bessemer. I'm not trying to hurt nobody or do anything illegal. I just want to know why I cannot get past this stump.
Thank you.
Madam
What was that address? What was that address again?
1004 4th Avenue North, Bessemer. I was told that I could not have multiple businesses in my location. I have a boutique next to me, my wife owns. She sells clothes. Like I said, my barbershop run Thursday and Friday on the family members only. From Monday to Sunday, I'm humping. I know plenty of y'all have seen me run around back and forth out in front of my shop, messing with cars, putting fenders on. I was told I had a couple of cars around the shop. I was told I had to get those cars off the premises, that I couldn't use the back. I couldn't have that back lot. I didn't own that back lot. I got permission from the owner that told me I can use that back lot, that whole back lot behind my building. I was told I had to get those cars off the grass. I moved the cars off the grass. I moved them to Raggedy Ann, 2 or 3 cars over there at Raggedy Ann, and it's just, I'm getting multiple complaints. People, it's like I'm being harassed.
Mr. Parker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Parker. All right, that 1004, I pulled that up. That's, is that right across from the stadium?
Yes, ma'am.
That's where that is. That's Counselor Collier. Mr. Parker, do you have anything in writing stating why you've been denied license by the inspector's office?
No, ma'am. When I talk to Miss Hill downstairs, she said, well, you know, you got to go over there to the building inspector. I told her a couple of days ago, I'm not going back over there. Because for one thing, the man do not come out of his office to speak to me. I done left my number multiple times. Nobody ain't called me and told me why I have been denied.
Okay, Mr. Parker, calm down, calm down. We're here to help you.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
not
It's just, I'm not
I
directing it
understand you're
towards y'all. It's just
frustrated.
upsetting.
I understand that you're frustrated, Mr. Parker. I truly understand your frustration.
Madam President,
yes, sir.
this is Terrain. Since that's an administrative matter, Mr. Parker, if you don't mind, once the meeting concludes, I just want to talk with you. This is the mayor's assistant,
Yes,
and
sir.
find out what's going on, and we'll look into this situation.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me,
Thank you
Chair.
so much.
Also, Mr. Parker, with that being an administrative move, hopefully you get some resolution, because you know what I mean. Even as you counsel, the frustration that was just exemplified, and first, I want to apologize that you are experiencing such nonsense trying to operate businesses here in the city of Bessemer. I
Yes,
pray
ma'am.
that you get resolution. And if it's anything that we could do as council, as far as in coming back to us to let us know, I mean, the situation was resolved, I would greatly appreciate that, because I have received several phone calls with that same sentiment, out of frustration on trying to get business licenses or having problems with our inspector. And I don't even know these people personally. It's just everybody can't tell the same lie. And again, I apologize. I pray that everything gets resolved for you. Thanks again for choosing Bessemer to do business.
Thank you.
That's sad.
Thank you, Counselor. Mr. Parker.
Yes.
I must, we do apologize, but I want you, as the mayor's assistant has asked, that you come over and speak. Do you want him to come upstairs, Terrain, or are you going to come downstairs?
It doesn't matter. I just tell me where I need to go.
Mr. Parker, just remain in the, Mr. Parker, if you don't mind, just stand by in the council chambers, and once the meeting is over, I'll come down and talk with you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I just want to say one thing. I got 500 car lots, junkyards in my district, and they continue to give these people business license. And those cars don't even move.
Tell me about it. I done took pictures. I got pictures all around through Bessemer. New ones then popped up that said they're a garage, but they got cars with no tags on them. They damaged. I done walked
Mr.
up
Parker.
and down Bessemer Super House.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Parker. Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Parker, I understand. I totally understand your frustration. Just have a seat right there in the council chambers.
All right.
And Mr. Norris will come down and speak with you. And again, thank you for choosing the city of Bessemer. Just have a seat right there. You said we did have another person in the chambers.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She's coming up. She's coming up. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's coming up.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning. It appears that when that publication got on the city's Facebook page, that we were doing Zoom, but everyone that wanted to speak could come to the council chambers. It appears that Facebook does work. You have state your name and your address.
My name is
3 minutes.
My name is Derulia Webster Harris. I have a business at 1829 13th Avenue North in Bessemer. I was born in Birmingham, raised in Bessemer. One of my longtime dreams was to have a business in Bessemer, and that has turned into a complete nightmare. I'm here today looking for answers about the process and initially being denied my business license for an event center based on misinformation or just a direct lie. I obtained my state license, then county license here in Bessemer prior to my ribbon cutting. Several council members attended the ceremony soon after I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I had no idea my business wasn't in compliance with the city of Bessemer. It was brought to my attention with a cease and desist letter stating there had been several complaints about my business and that I was unlicensed. Here's where my concerns and questions began. So prior to that, I had been running business for about 2 months where entrepreneurs would come in like an indoor flea market and set up and sell and display their products. So once I received a cease and desist letter stating that there had been several complaints, police had never been called to this business. There had been any disruptive activities there. So for me to say that there had been complaints on my business, the complaint would have to be just initially because I was there. So once I found out I wasn't in compliance, I came to the city hall to immediately try to get that taken care of. With the inspection that was done there, Mr. Harmon, Chief Brennan came in and told me that I wasn't approved to be licensed for an event center because I needed a sprinkler system. So of course, I'm not wealthy or well off. I can't afford a sprinkler system for a building that I don't own. After doing research, according to the city ordinance 3531, it states that the sprinkler system, let's see here, the section 1035.1 group A2 under sprinkler system in its entirety was to be deleted, and that was signed November 7th, 2015. So my question is, I was initially denied my business license based on the fact that I needed a sprinkler system for something that in the city ordinance is no longer required. So I want to know who is the check and balance on the inspections department or those people that made those calls, because the people that are denying businesses don't even have a stake in Bessemer. At 5 o'clock, they get in their car and they go to their respective neighborhoods to lay down. So what happens in Bessemer after 5 p.m. is no longer their concern. So for me, being a person that was born and raised here, to have a dream to open a business here and open it, I never in my wildest dreams thought it would be this difficult to run a legitimate business. And the process of receiving a cease and desist letter, where is the process of, okay, Ms. Webster, you're not in compliance with the city. Here's what you need to do. When council members stood at a ribbon cutting and said, if you need me, give us a call, we're here to help. I just don't even believe in it. I've gone to, I can count, looking at the names on the templates here, about 4 members, and no one can give me answers on why I have an ordinance from the city that says a sprinkler system isn't required, but yet a department head can come in and tell me it's required, and I get denied my business license. The events that I had scheduled, all those canceled. This is my heftiest bill, that a building is sitting there month after month, because even after it was coming down several times to continue to try to get a license, denied, come back out for an inspection. This is required, that's required. I don't know who to believe, because if they can come in and tell me a sprinkler system is required, but then I pull this ordinance from Bessemer City that says it's no longer required, how can I count on what they actually tell me is needed if the ordinance completely contradicts what they told me? So my concern is, does this body even care that if that event center was my way of, the only way that I was going to survive, if that was my only way of survival, I would be out on the streets. Luckily, I have a business in Pleasant Grove that's thriving. Initially, I wanted that business to be in Bessemer, and I'm saying to myself, thank God I didn't start here. Thank God that is in place to keep me a place to live. The building in Bessemer is sitting idle because week after week, time after time, I've came in with questions trying to get this business license, been put on the schedule repeatedly for inspections. A different set of people come out and tell me, oh, you're good to go. I come here to get my license. Oh, it's processing, it's processing, it's processing. And meanwhile, I am steadily having to pay a lease, and a hefty one at that, with no results. Who is the check and balance on these department heads? Because that's who I need to speak to.
Thank you, Ms. Webster. And I can tell you that let me first want to say I do apologize. And I have to apologize over and over and over to you again. And I'm going to go and pull that ordinance 35-31. And I think I do already have that ordinance, and it does state that it was deleted that there will be sprinkler systems, because we have several of our event centers that does not have a sprinkler system. So who that will be, questions that you're asking us, Ms. Webster, they will be asked to the mayor and the mayor's office. Now, as far as that ordinance, this city council can take a look at that ordinance. And I think I've already looked at this. One moment, Councilor Crusoe. I've already looked at that ordinance one time with our then attorney Harris, and it does say that it has been deleted. Have you gotten anything in writing that tells you why you cannot get your city license?
Apparently that's not how the department heads operate here, without leaving documentation of why you're denied. So unfortunately, no, I don't. And what's even more concerning, Mr. Harmon stood there in my building and told me, I quote, "I'm not just making this up. It's in our ordinance that it's required." So after, it bothers me that, not thinking that I would even do the research to find out that it was a total lie is a complete insult to my intelligence. Why was I just told an outright lie initially for the denial of my business license? Does this body even care that people are trying to be productive citizens in Bessemer and are being denied because of what? Just because I don't want you to? Or what is it? What is it? I want that answer.
You're saying this body. This body is not denying your business, because I would love for you to stay in Bessemer and have a thriving business here. But as Mr. Parker is doing, you can do the same thing. You can have a seat there in the council's chambers, and Mr. Norris can answer those questions for you. Those questions, what we can do as a body, we can address the ordinance. But as far as why you're being denied your city license, that's strictly administrative. So if you have the time today, you can sit there in the council chambers, and the mayor's assistant, Mr. Norris, will speak to you, and hopefully you'll get some type of resolution to why you cannot get licensed, or what exactly is the problem with your getting your license. Councilor Crusoe, you have something you want to ask Ms. Webster?
First of all, I want to apologize to you as well, ma'am. Sorry that you're having to experience what you're experiencing by choosing to open up business in Bessemer. But I was about to make the same suggestion that if Mayor Gully or Terrain Norris, as they were meeting with Mr. Parker, if they would take the time to sit down and try to iron out the crinkles and make this transition of opening up her business as smooth as possible. You're just trying to right the wrongs of the city of Bessemer. That you're just making that suggestion. Again, I'm sorry, ma'am, and thank you so much for coming to Bessemer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
this business
Counselor
is in my,
Alexander.
this business is in my district. Ms. Webster was served, court documents to come to court, a court notice, from the city of Bessemer. Because they said that she operated without a license, had a party, and it was the Just Lanier alumni party. I mean, it wasn't even 75 people there. But I guess this is in retaliation to me because the city does not like me. And so anything that they think that's attached to me, they want it to fail. And I mean fail.
Counselor Alexander. Counselor Alexander.
No, hold up,
that
Madam
city
Chair,
did not-
because we can let this man from blocks come by 8 buildings in the city of Bessemer, and he don't have a stake in Bessemer. But this young lady wants to run a business in Bessemer, and it's so hard for her to get a business in
Madam
Bessemer.
Madam Chair, that statement is
sir.
out of place. That statement
It's not
is
out of place. It's
it
not
is
out of
out of
place.
place and
It's
it's
not out of
disparaging.
place.
This has
This is
nothing to do.
documentation.
Madam
It's been in
Chair.
my court proceedings. He
Madam
was
Chair.
asked, was it hard for me to get business license in the city of Bessemer?
Madam Chair.
Counselor Alexander, Counselor Marshall, I have already stated to Ms. Webster. Ms.
That's
Webster
right.
is going to sit there and speak with the mayor and or the mayor's assistant, and we're going to move on to item number 14.
Madam Chair, point of privilege. Point of privilege.
14.
Madam Chair.
Now, you can ask for a point of privilege. I don't have to grant that point of privilege now.
Well, because you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth.
Now, let's go to item number 14.
We shouldn't be disparaging businesses in this city. We should be helping businesses, but we don't have a reason to be disparaging someone else. Now, what Blocks does, Blocks has a right to do, but to disparage them is not right, and we ought to be helping these citizens who are having some issues. That's not right.
Marsha, we shouldn't discourage anyone from bringing businesses to the city of Bessemer.
No, I said disparage. I said disparage. I said disparaging Blocks is not correct. That's not right to do.
The decision has been made that she'll stay there, and she has agreed to stay there and speak with administration. Ms. Taylor, 14, please.
Item 14, council members' comments, statements, or motions.
Thank you. District 1, please.
Yes, I'd like to ask the mayor and entire council to pray for the Pendleton and Larry family who lost their mother last week, and I'll keep forwarding everything else to the mayor's office.
District 2.
I have several complaints about District 2, how filthy it is, overgrown lots, trash everywhere, abandoned houses that need to be cut or demolished. I will forward all that to Mr. Norris.
Thank you. District 4.
I'll continue to send my information and requests to the mayor's office through Mr. Norris.
Thank you. District 5.
Madam Chair, I'll continue sending to the mayor's office, but I still want to reiterate that it is so inappropriate for us or anyone to sit on this dais and disparage a business that has come to this city. It is equally important that we work with, for example, these two citizens who want to do business to make sure that we make it, friendly for them to do business because we want you in the city. But we've had council people to sit on this dais and run down businesses that have been in this city for years and years and have done good things in this city. But because of some personal agendas, they want to disparage them. Now,
They must be paying you.
If
they got to be paying you.
Counselor.
Yeah, if Blocks wants to spend $1 billion to buy property and people are willing to sell it, you can't stop them from doing that.
What
You
about
can't
the black
stop in.
men? What about the
You,
black people that want to buy buildings in the city of Bessemer
Counselor,
that know nothing
Counselor,
about these buildings that's
Madam
being sold?
Madam Chair. Now,
Counselor
Madam Chair.
Don't give me
Alexander,
that.
Counselor
Not
Alexander,
today. Not today. You
Counselor
won't.
Alexander, I
Madam
will have to
Chair.
mute your mic.
Madam Chair.
Counselor
He say he the
Alexander,
only intelligent person sit on this dais. He's not.
Madam
Counselor
Chair. Madam Chair.
Alexander, please allow him to finish. Please allow
Madam
him to finish.
Chair. And
Yes,
let me
sir.
say
Go ahead.
this. Madam Chair, Councilor Alexander accused me of taking a bribe, okay? I'll discuss this with legal because she accused me of taking a bribe from blocks. I'll address this legally. Thank you.
I got the money and the lawyer.
District number, District 6.
Thank you, Madam Chair. How are you? First, I want to start
You really
off
want
with, well, anyway, I want to start off with, on a positive note, about Starbucks on, right on the corner by Town and Country at Ford Academy Drive and US 11. It's so good to see those cars line up in the drive-through, and they were especially the ones that wanted to get their Joe, their coffee. It was such a nice treat to see them do that. But in that immediate area, I've received some calls from business owners concerning Ruby Tuesday and the hotel that's down behind the hill from Town and Country forward on the backside. You know, the hotel that's right before you get to JJ's Wing. There's some growing concern about the look of Ruby Tuesdays on that corner and the theft of property that's behind Town and Country, where people are coming up that hill. So, and it's eyesore, both of them are. And I think we need to, as a council body and mayor and department head, needs to do what we can do to make sure that Ruby Tuesdays is it's going to have to be level, I guess. In that old hotel down in there, it's rough down there. Just went to there. I know it's not in my district, but it's still part of the city, and I'm getting phone calls. So I think at a minimum, the property owners in the immediate area would like to see us have some dialogue on it, maybe in planning session. And I'm going to put all this in writing as well. I have some things in writing. Just going to name them out. On 19th Street there, I talked about those tires stacked up. I don't care where the daycare is. I don't care. I don't think a bunch of tires, and I think Attorney Payton had some discussion with the council concerning used tires and how they be stacked up. Something about the, I think pertaining to the state law. But when you have a daycare and you have tires stacked up, I mean, like 30 or 40 feet up high, right there, and raining like it is, it's not going to do anything but breed mosquitoes. So I think at a minimum that needs to be a discussion. Shot spotter. It's so many gunshots. I could be on the south side. I could be in Carriage Hill. We need to have some discussion on that and see. It's getting to be a holiday season, and I don't know. It's shots being fired now, regardless, just at random, just shooting. People be hitting the floor in their house. I think Councilor Crusoe had some issues, and I think she mentioned it. And some things is so valid, but we skim over them and go on 3 months later. Then the next month, a friend of mine's son got shot over at Fairfield football game That's a stray bullet. These stray bullets don't know nobody. So I think we need to discuss that. Some illegal dumping, talking about it for planning session. I want to know our status on our downtown with Strata. It's just a numerous of things that we've had on our plate, and we never get them off our plate though. So I think at some point we need to clear some of these things off our plate that we bring, that our citizens request, and they complain about them and they give them to us, we bring them, and then we just skip over them and go to another meeting, and 3 months later it's the same thing, but we never do iron out anything. I did mention Strata in our downtown. We need an update on it. And the last thing, I know we hadn't got a budget yet, but we approved for Miss Kess to be help out in the clerk's office, and I want to know the status. Is it being beneficial? Is it being just what's the status on it? Us letting Miss Kess go in and help out. I know we hadn't had a budget yet because we want that to be as efficient and productive as it should be. If we spend money to have somebody go in to help out on reconciliation, whatever kind of accounting words you want to use, if they supposed to do that, then we need it to be done. So it's just some things we need to get off our plate, and we don't ever clean it off our plate. I'm glad we did get those employees the money that we gave allotted them, but there's so many other things. We got pigeons in a community, a big old coop. I'm gonna send emails from the Carriage Brook neighborhood. Those pigeons in the coop, and they said the coop is locked up, dead pigeons in there. So I don't know, but I ain't gonna go on I'm not gonna go on anyone's private property to see either. But if there's wildlife in someone's yard or on somebody's property don't supposed to be on there, we need to address it. All right, I'll stop now. Thank you.
Madam President, this is Shan a minute. I have some updated information on that Knights Inn down there. If you'd like me to go over it now, if you'd like me to bring it up at planning session, I can do that.
Sure. Go ahead with that, because Councilor Matthews did ask about that some meetings ago.
All right. So I talked with the attorney for Heyman Inc. Heyman Inc. is the entity that owns that property down there. They are scheduled for trial in federal court against their insurance carrier on October the 25th. It's been continued and continued and continued. And it's my understanding that this trial will proceed on October the 25th in federal court. So that is the update on that. I asked him the status of, did he have any bids to tear down that building? And he sent me 3 bids to tear down that building, all of those buildings back there. They were all of them in excess of $400,000 to tear down that building. So he assured me that whatever the result is, that they were awarded anything from Chubb, that they would use that money to take those buildings down. If you'd like me to discuss that further, I can at the planning session, but that's an update on that building.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Payton. And nothing on Ruby Tuesdays, huh?
My understanding is that they're that they were planning on rebuilding that, but that's third hand. That's my understanding there. That's my understanding. It was less than 50% damaged, and that they were going to be rebuilding that structure or repairing that structure. But that was as of 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I can follow up on that also.
Yeah, I wish you would, because I did some research, and they were going to close 8 Ruby Tuesdays, and Bessemer was one of them. So I find it kind of strange for them to rebuild something that they were going in plans of closing down. It's public information as well. So I don't know, but we can discuss it further in planning session.
So
okay.
it was not Ruby Tuesdays that was going to build to reopen a Ruby Tuesdays. The owner of the building leased the facility to Ruby Tuesdays originally, but you're correct, they were going to close. But it's my understanding that they even had another really nice restaurant tenant that was supposed to go in there that would have been fabulous. And I don't know the status of that right now, but I do know that they plan to rebuild it. The owner is different than Ruby Tuesdays.
Okay, thank you. Well, we need to put that shot spot or something on planning session, Madam Chair. Shot spotter.
Are you finished, District 6?
6 is for now. Yeah, put a comma behind that. Yes, ma'am.
Are you finished, District 6?
I'm finished for today.
Okay, thank you. District 7.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Councilor Matthews, on reiterating the shot spotter. You know, I made mention of that quite some time, and we were told that we couldn't afford it. So now that we have some funds around, maybe we could, I guess, follow that to fruition, because it is truly needed. Also, thank you, Mayor Gully and staff members, for having the trucks removed over here on Carolina Avenue. Also, as far as the overgrown lots, the dilapidated houses, I guess it's a complaint in everybody's district, but we're asking for some special attention, if we can, down in our Jonesboro and Burstall area, particularly the 9th Street, 10th Street, and Owen Avenue. If you could send someone out to kind of look around into the area and trim away the nuisances, we would greatly appreciate that. Again, thanks. Everything else I'll forward to the mayor's office. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. District 3 has a lot going on right now. I forwarded several things to the mayor's office. But the first thing I do want to talk about right now is Morgan Road. I almost killed an employee on Morgan Road on the garbage truck. Garbage truck was on the left-hand side of the road as I was going to Greenwood Elementary School. The young man on the garbage truck had no reflective gear on. He dotted in and out, getting one garbage can at a time, in and out, going across the street to dump the garbage in the truck. Mind you, the traffic is backed up to Jack. And when the child jumped out in front of my car, I couldn't do anything but scream, you all. I had to pull to the side of the road, and I must apologize to Mr. Lawrence Hatter. Because when I did compose myself, I called Mr. Hatter screaming at him. Why is it this truck is parked on this side of the road, and this child is dotting back and forward across the street to carry trash? And thank you, Mr. Hatter, for being as calm as you were to calm Cynthia Donald down, because I was truly upset that morning. I couldn't even get the children into the school on time because I was that upset. I think reflective gear is in order for them, and Mr. Hatter did state that we do have reflective gear. If we have it, please, employees, use it. If we don't, let us get it. Safety is our number one here in the city of Bessemer when you're doing a hazardous job such as that one. With that being said, counselors, Ms. Coleman is going to send you the paperwork on all the attorneys that we received, resumes on all the attorneys that we received for the city of Bessemer, and it will be on planning session. Dorothy Hayden on Carolina Avenue, 3105 Carolina Avenue, states that she has called Public Works about the water backing up into her yard. Mayor Gully, if we can get, or to Rain, since you're sitting there in Mayor Gully's stead, if we can get someone out to Miss Dorothy Hayden's house, because the water has washed the road away there, and all the water is backing up into her drive. Both she and her brother are disabled veterans. Her brother is now in the nursing home, and she is not able, she's 75 years old, she's not able to get out of her yard. And I told her I would pass that on to the mayor so that he can get someone out to look, even if we have to get the engineers out to look at those pipes that was placed there in front of her house, but the water is backing up into her yard. Thank you for the shot spotter, the reminder for the shot spotter, Councilor Crusoe and Councilor Matthews. There in the 2900 block of Fairfax Avenue, there was a shooting that hit a young lady and a young man. They were carried to the hospital, none life-threatening injuries. But when the police got there, the police had to pull their weapons. There are some, when the police pulled their weapons, I looked at the tape that was on one of the neighbors' homes, but the same weapons that the police have, the young men across the street had pulled their weapons just in case. And my question to them was, just in case of what? With this being a drive-by shooting. I truly think that the shot spotters would be very helpful here, not only for the city of Bessemer, but for the safety of our police officers here in the city. And again, we had our baby palooza on Saturday. I want to thank the Street and Sanitation Department for how they cleaned up around and on the lot for us to have that palooza. We did get some compliments. One stating that they've never seen it that clean. And again, thank you, Street and Sanitation, and thank you, Mr. Hatter. We did give out 127 boxes of Pampers. And what I'm most proud of, not only our expected mothers, and our mothers came out, we had some fathers that came out and took advantage of the giveaway. Not only did we give away Pampers, wipes, baby clothes, we gave away essentials, soap, washing powder, bleach, lotion. We gave away all of those things. So let me thank Nurturing Golden Hearts for partnering with District 3 and doing such a good job with that. Councilors, thank you for your time today. Item number 15, please.
Item 15, motion to adjourn.
Councilor, I need a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Need a second. Roll call.
Councilor Alexander,
Aye.
Councilor Collier, Councilor Crusoe, Councilor Marshall, Councilor Thigpen,
Aye.
Councilor Matthews,
Aye.
Councilor Donald.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you all. Have a great week now. Bye-bye.
Bye.